Doctors said I'd already be dead when I was born. This is how I thrived with half a heart.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
Before Taylor Colvin came into the world, her parents were given two options: abort her or prepare to give birth to a stillborn baby. 21 years later, and the ACT local is proud to be one of the oldest Australians living with just half a heart. I have had 3 open heart surgeries, one at 3 days, one at 3 months, and the last aged 3. I guess 3 should be my lucky number, Taylor said. The fact that Taylor is alive is a miracle in itself. When her mum was 3 months pregnant, an ultrasound revealed the unborn baby had something called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, HLHS. The rare condition meant that the arteries on the left side of Taylor's heart were so underdeveloped they were unable to circulate blood to the rest of the body. It was 2001, and back then there was no cure for HLHS. If left untreated, most infants had a life expectancy of just 2 weeks. But unable to accept their little girl's fate, Taylor's parents threw themselves into researching the condition, desperately seeking answers. They discovered a unique surgery that could rewire Taylor's heart so the right side would care for the entire body. In 20 years, the surgery had only been performed a handful of times and mainly overseas. But Taylor's parents pushed for the experimental surgery in the hope it would give their daughter a chance at life, and the surgeons eventually agreed. So Taylor made it into the world, and during her first days on Earth she underwent multiple examinations to determine the extent of HLHS. The left side of my heart was pretty much useless, Taylor tells 7 Life. Instead, the right side of Taylor's heart tried to compensate, which was resulting in her newborn heart being placed under enormous strain. At just 3 days old, she had open heart surgery, the first of many operations she would need in order to survive. Despite her grim prognosis, the baby girl survived. Taylor continued to prove doctors wrong time and time again. But after her last open heart surgery aged 3, doctors still weren't sure what the future held for her. That is one of the biggest downsides of HLHS, they just don't know what's next. They don't know if I will need more surgery in a day, a month, or a year from now, she candidly says. With each birthday, she continued to defy the odds, and with constant checkups, she continued to push the boundaries of what living with HLHS meant. It was in no way easy. I was delayed a lot because I was in and out of hospital constantly. I didn't learn to ride a bike until I was 9, Taylor reveals. But what kept her fighting was her mum's push to ensure her daughter lived a normal life. From the beginning, she didn't want to bubble wrap me like some sick kids were. We would be at the playground and I was always the one climbing the tree no matter how sick I was, she says. But that's not to say Taylor didn't struggle. A few steps would leave her gasping for air, and walking upstairs was impossible for the schoolgirl. They don't know if I will need more surgery in a day, a month, or a year from now, Taylor Colvin. Just walking a few hundred meters would leave me out of breath and exhausted, she explains. Building up her strength took patience and consistency. Every day Taylor would push herself that little bit further. And slowly, throughout the years, she began climbing staircases, one step at a time. Now the Canberra student loves the outdoors and especially loves the thrill of canyoning. I can pretty much do anything a healthy-hearted person can do, except running. But it's nice to use my heart as an excuse to not run, she laughs. In the future, she knows a heart and liver transplant are on the cards, but for now she is just grateful for every day she gets to breathe the fresh outdoor air. The student also looks forward to hearing about the next generation of HLHS kids who are living life to the fullest thanks to medical advancements and a wider acceptance of the unique surgery Taylor underwent 21 years ago. According to Associate Professor at Heart Research Institute Rachel Cordina, people living with half a heart are now living full lives, all thanks to technology. There are ranging degrees of wellness with people living with the condition who are now expected to now live well into their 60s, said ASIC. Professor Cordina said, with just 1,600 people living with this condition in Australia and New Zealand alone, Taylor is proud to be not just part of the statistic but one of the oldest living Aussies surviving off just half a heart. My heart condition is something I have, not who I am, Taylor declares. T doesn't define me or limit my capabilities. I am proud of my heart.